Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
Podcast number 2.
Episode 2, let's get it. But welcome back
Ready.
to Dear Radiant
Dear
One.
Radiant One.
This is Abi,
And Isabel.
and we are excited to be back.
We are. We've been waiting for this one. We've been trying to figure out what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, like we've just been a lot has been happening, so we're just excited to kind of just share what the Lord's been.
Speak about it.
Yeah,
Dabble in it.
what the Lord's been doing.
Yeah, this year has been crazy. Growth, experience, prayer.
Yeah.
All of it. Reading our word.
Yeah.
Definitely for me.
Yeah.
Just so much has happened this year, and we kind of want to talk about it. We feel like the Lord has shown us so much that we need to talk about it, like how much
Yeah.
He's been so gracious and kind to us, but at the same time He's also like pushed us and just helped us to just become more like Him ultimately. That's what we want to
do. But yeah, if you don't know, we are currently in our junior year / senior year. We're like in our senior semester. We graduate next semester. So that means we're kind of coming to an end of this school year.
Mhm.
And so that kind of means a lot of like reflection, looking back at like the year, because that's just like kind of what happens at this time. Like you're packing up your whole life and you're like kind of reflecting on like
what has happened.
Yeah, and like what the Lord's done. Like it's been
things you've accomplished.
Things we've accomplished, things we've asked for the Lord to reveal in our lives, and just like so many good things has happened.
It's been so good.
So good. But yeah, first of all, like, whoa. We have a podcast.
We do.
And that was something that we prayed off since our first year of college,
which was a year ago.
Yeah,
so it's not that crazy, but we've been waiting for this.
We've been waiting.
We kind of dabbled in it. Why am I just using that word?
Dabbled, but we kind of talked about it last week, kind of like waiting room. But yeah, and so that was like a big thing in our lives, and we kind of went into last week. So we're not gonna go too much into like podcast, but that's something that's
such a blessing from the Lord.
Oh my God, yes.
And like the encouragement we've had from family, from some friends that might know, just so much encouragement. And just in the past and the waiting, and while we were like, what do we do? There's just been so much encouragement. Sorry. There's been so much encouragement and just the waiting and seeking the Lord. But also like growing in our relationship with Him.
Yeah.
Because I think He revealed it to us, but
totally
we needed to work through a lot of things.
We did. But yeah, so by this time you're watching this, the first episode should be out. And so our hope and prayer is that you're just to get to hear a little bit about like our stories and like why our stories with the podcast, not necessarily our stories, but like our stories with why we started the podcast.
Yeah.
Just our heart behind it. But yeah, I agree. Like we've had just like so much confirmation with this podcast, and I'm just excited to see like how we do this when we go back home and just like how that looks like.
What's that gonna look like?
Yeah,
exactly. Since we both would hopefully have internships, see, I guess.
Yes,
have internships and be busy, but also like still make time for what the Lord has blessed and provided for both of us
to be faithful in that. Yeah.
So that's been a big thing. That's number one. But
so good.
So good. And it's just so crazy how much the Lord has changed and opened doors and just given us a platform. Even though it's not like, it's not big, but like the Lord will bless it for sure. And even if He doesn't, praise the Lord. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, He's gonna bless it.
But like I meant like big following.
Oh yeah, no. It's not about the numbers. It's truly just about like being able to like speak His name, and the fact that He called both of us like totally unworthy of like just the stuff He's called us to.
For sure.
So unworthy of it. But He's gonna equip us, Yes.
Yeah.
Because of Him we'll be able. So that's a big thing.
That is a big thing.
Crazy, crazy times. And then
what else has happened? We are almost done with school.
Yeah.
Like that's another big thing. A little bit about us. We were planning on staying here for 5 whole years.
we were planning on. We came into GCU like in a program.
Grand Canyon University. Sorry. I just wanted to say that.
And so we were planning on staying here for 5 years. We were in a program. But then when we went back home last summer, we both felt called to leave that program.
Yeah, we did.
And we didn't make that decision together. None of our decisions were ever made together. The Lord has been just so kind in like just having our paths cross.
Yes.
Like
for sure.
He's so kind. So kind.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we both kind of like, I remember the coffee shop we talked at. And we're both
that was underground, wasn't
it?
Yeah. That's crazy.
And so we kind of were like,
we were confused for a minute. Were you?
Confused about what?
About like where it was at.
Oh, we were, because we couldn't find it.
Yeah. I was like underground.
It's weird. We were just like felt called that was our time to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're graduating in 2.5 years.
Yeah, so this is officially in 2 days. In 2 days, it's our last. We'll be entering it into the summer before our last semester, and so there's so much that has happened, and so thankful, but also like it's a little sad knowing that like we both met here, we feel called here. Yeah, and so definitely for me, I'm a little sad closing this chapter.
Sad. But we still have one more semester, and we're gonna make the most of it.
we are.
It's gonna be good. Okay, and then
our prayer.
Yeah, this is kind of a big thing, and again, we did not talk about it like together. The Lord just kind of, I think, revealed and was calling us to a higher place with this. But we met up one day. I don't really remember when we met up, but we were kind of just talking through random stuff.
I do.
When was it? Do you remember?
We were camping out that one night.
Oh my gosh. Was it that one night?
Just Dance.
Oh. Okay, so that night is special. Yes.
You guys don't understand yet, but
guys, our lives are crazy. Okay, but that night.
Let's bring it back.
We gotta lock in, guys. Just tune in for the future.
Stay tuned.
So
big things coming.
We cannot wait to reveal all of the other stuff.
Yeah, yes. Some of it has to be kept to ourselves.
Totally.
Oh my goodness.
It was that night. So we were camping. If you don't go to GCU,
Grand Canyon University Antelopes.
Many times I'm gonna say that. Before basketball games, because it's chaotic, and to get good seats, we have to camp out in the cold, and it's actually super fun. It's really fun. But it was just us two before some of our other friends were getting there, so we were just having deep convos.
We were doing an assignment.
We were first doing an assignment. You are right.
And it was about accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, it's like, what are you dealing with? Like, did you guys talk about your time with God? Like what our day-to-day look like and growing in our relationship with the Lord. And we both had different situations coming into it, thinking about this specific story in the Bible.
Totally.
I think I'll just go ahead and say it, but I think for me, it's just like I came into it and I was like, okay, I know I need to start reading my Bible more. And I was reading my Bible. But I just like yearned to know more, to be more in a situation where it's like constantly growing, constantly leaning on the Lord like never before. And so it reminded me of our story, but I'll let you say your story before we talk about the main story,
Yeah. My side of this, I think I was going through I was just really discouraged at this time. I remember just like kind of like just felt like darkness, everything. Mm-hmm. And so there were like a lot of sleepless nights. It was just like a really dark time. And I was also at that point where I was like, I know I need to get in the Word, but these are the moments it's so hard for me to like get in the Word. But I think I told you at a really like early time before it got like really bad. So I don't think I let myself get as dark as I could.
Yeah.
No.
No, and it's a good thing I'm so thankful for those papers this semester. Like,
yeah.
How just so beneficial it was for both of us to be like, yo, this is truthfully what I'm struggling with.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm not gonna like hold it back or like not confess it because we're called to confess in a group setting. Like us, we're called to confess it to the Lord, obviously, but we are also called to like confess it to believers and like get accountability and help grow and learn yourself, but also like take yourself out of those situations. You know what I mean? Like if you're in a situation where like temptation might come up out, you have this person you can rely on.
Mm-hmm.
You have this person like you can just seek and
totally
just be there for them. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
So we both came in with that thought process. We both kind of were like, we want to read and be at the feet of Jesus. And so this is going into the story, which is in Luke 7.
Luke 7.
Do you want to read it?
Do I read the whole thing? It's kind of long.
Just summarize it. Tell them the verses.
Summarize it. So it's Luke 7, 36 through 50. So it's just when a woman, and she is known to be a sinner. That's we are all sinners. So, but she comes to Jesus, and he was at a Pharisee's house, Simon, and she brings an alabaster jar of perfume. Mm-hmm. And she kind of is just like standing either behind or in front of Jesus' feet. She's like weeping. Mm-hmm. And then she starts like wiping. She begins to wet his feet with her tears, I'm pretty sure, in the beginning. And then she wipes his feet with hair, and then she kisses them, obviously. And then she starts anointing it with the perfume that she had. Mm-hmm. And obviously, the Lord already knows her and knows her heart. And she was just a sinful woman, so everyone was kind of just like judging her at this point, for what she did. Also, like, why would you just throw so much perfume like away? You know, back in the day, that was like expensive. Yeah. But the Lord, like,
they talk about how expensive it is.
Yeah, they do.
It's like, I don't know exactly how much, but it's something like wages or whatever. Like,
yeah,
I think like a yearly wage. I don't know if that was correct or not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But something to that effect.
Yeah,
it was like really expensive.
Yeah, and so then, because of her actions, the Lord says, He says, therefore I tell you, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much. But he who is forgiven little loves little. Whoa. But he said to her, her sins are forgiven. And everyone was like, who's this woman? Blah, blah, blah. And then the Lord at the end says, your faith has saved you. Go in peace.
Yeah.
Like, but we kind of both came into it being like, we want to be, if nothing else happens in our life, we just want to be known as women at the feet of Jesus.
Yeah.
And that is like a really, like, you think it's like easy to like say that. No, it's hard to be like, if I get nothing else in life, if I achieve nothing else, no more big things happens in my life, as long as I just get to sit at his feet and worship, that's all I ever want. And we both felt called to like live that lifestyle when we didn't talk about it before that night.
Yeah, we both came in with a lot of like quote unquote disappointment, I feel like.
Totally, yes.
Because we were like, we want to be those people. We want to be the woman at Jesus' feet, giving everything to him. Yeah. And just crying and sitting at his feet and just laying on his chest, hearing his heartbeat, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we were like, that's what we yearn to be like, you know, and become. And we both brought it up, and it was weird because I think like you said something about like someone bringing it up to you, and I was like, shut up, I've been listening, you know.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we were like both like we thought about it randomly, and we were like, we just both want to be women at Jesus's feet, like truthfully. If nothing else, like if he does not bless me, if he does not give me anything else, I will be like like, I will be okay sitting at his feet.
Oh, we'll be
I'm not
okay.
even worthy to sit at his feet,
No.
but I'm okay to sit.
I will be okay to do that.
I'm okay because that's what I desire. That's what I long
Mhm.
for. Like, that's our ultimate desire in life. And so we both came in with this thought. We were like, we just want to be there. And so I feel like that night we were like, well, I mean, we can change the way we're doing things. Like,
Totally.
we can actually become pursuers of the Lord the way he
Yeah.
pursues us. Even though not to the full extent he pursues us, because he's just so gracious and
Yeah.
merciful and just loves us unconditionally. But we just wanted to pursue him in a deeper way to where we knew him better than anyone else in the world. You know what I mean? That's kind of what Preston says.
Oh my God, yeah. He says, like, at the end of the end of my life, I want to know him more than anyone else. And like,
yeah,
me too.
how cool.
I
Yeah,
want to know him more than anyone else in this world.
yeah.
And yeah, that conversation, we were like, yeah, let's change. Like,
That was about maybe like 6 months ago.
6, 4. Oh, maybe. I don't remember.
I feel like it was before Christmas.
Really, I thought it was after. Whatever.
Okay.
I thought it was January.
4 to 6 months.
Either way.
Whatever.
And so kind of had that conversation. And that one night also, like, we talked a lot about like why the church doesn't really focus on like confession that much, you know?
Because we both well, I think I confessed something big.
That night?
No, we both did. We both did.
That
yeah,
night.
we did.
Yes, we did. But because a lot of times, like, as Christians, like, we choose to confess after we do the sin.
Mhm.
But to me, it's like, why don't you just confess when you're thinking about it?
Mhm.
So then once you already confess, it's so much harder to do it. Like, you have that accountability. So like, that's also something that was like so
Yeah.
important to us that night.
Yeah.
Like, we talked about it. Like,
no,
we were
it's
like,
a good thing. It's truthfully like the Lord blesses that. Truthfully, like
Yeah.
he's grown us
Yeah.
way closer than we ever thought we would be.
Mhm.
By just like that simple action of being like, yeah, I thought this way, or I said this about myself, or I feel this way, or
Yeah.
whatever that might look like. We both were open and honest, and it grew our friendship, but it also grew our trust to each other. Like,
Yeah.
truthfully, if we did not do that, I don't think a lot of things would have been revealed to us after that.
Totally.
Like,
I
if
agree.
we weren't faithful to like the small
Small
things and like
Mhm.
yeah, if we weren't faithful to the small and like obedient to his word,
Mhm.
we would not be
Yeah.
where we're at now with
Totally.
so much growth and so
Yeah.
much.
But I think it's hard to confess because a lot of times, like, you just don't know if you trust people,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
And that is like a really hard, or like you're afraid if people will judge you,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, but we're all human.
We're all human. We all are sinners. Like, if you think you're the only person that struggled with it, that is such a lie
No.
from the devil.
Yeah.
Your person next to you is probably going through the exact same
Yes.
thing.
Agree.
Like, I've learned that. Like, I confess something and they're like, oh, I also have this. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
alone. You're not alone. And like, again, like, if you don't have someone to confess to, I would say like pray that the Lord brings people.
Yeah.
But also, like, we're here.
Mhm.
Like, we're so blessed to like, our Instagram DMs are open. Like,
For
it really
sure.
is. Like, we want to be like partners with you in prayer.
Yes.
And just like be that.
And if you know us, like we're willing to like spend time with you guys.
Oh my God, yes.
And
there's like no judgment.
No.
We
all fall short of the glory of God.
Constantly, every day.
All do.
Mm-hmm.
And like, why aren't we helping other believers
Mm-hmm.
to get out of that sin, to get out of that temptation, or that hole that they've dug themselves in?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why aren't we pursuing those relationships?
Yeah.
Another thing I thought whenever you were saying this was like, my like teachers would always say this, and they would be like, well, if you have a question, there's probably someone else in the room that has the same question.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of the same thing.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
if you're struggling with someone, there's someone probably around you in your friend group, in your family, whatever that might look like, that are struggling with the exact same thing you are, and that you're just probably too scared to admit it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, oh my gosh, I don't know what the verse is, but we were all like, I put it in my sermon and Preston talked about it. It says, where the spirit of God is at,
there's freedom.
there's freedom.
Yeah.
I think that's 1 Corinthians.
I think so. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, where the spirit of the Lord
Sure.
is, there's
And so there's so much freedom, and it's so freeing whenever we are able just to sit with someone and talk about some struggles that has been happening. Oh, 2 Corinthians
3:17.
3:17. There we go. But yeah, there's so much freedom whenever we are truthful.
Yeah.
And the truth will set you free. What is that, John? Pretty sure that's John.
I think
something.
so.
But there's so much freedom in there, and like we can see in so many scriptures that are just like popping up in my brain. I don't know why, but hey, Holy Spirit, thank you.
Thank you, Holy Spirit. Let's go. But yeah,
that is a big thing. We've been praying for that, and I mean, I would say about a week ago, maybe a little less than a week ago, I finally realized that we were living in that prayer.
Yeah, we realized that pretty soon. I mean, pretty recently, not soon. Pretty recently, but we were already like living in that.
That is so cool.
So cool. But I think what kind of shift like our trajectory was kind of like we for the first time prayed together. And like I always knew when 2 or 3 gathers, like there's so much more power. And like I don't know why we never prayed together, but like pray.
I don't think it ever came to my mind like we would always talk about a lot of things.
Yeah.
We'd always tell us like our struggles. I feel like we prayed a lot like together separately though. You know what I mean? Like I would pray like in my mind, you would pray in your mind.
Yeah.
But it was never like out loud together. Our true vulnerable selves of like what we pray to the Lord. You know what I mean? Because like those prayers are usually intimate, quiet, like just like a precious moment with the Lord.
Yeah.
But again, if someone else is hearing that and having faith and believing the same thing
for you,
it's gonna help you grow your faith, but also grow your trust in the Lord.
Yeah.
That He will do it.
Yeah, totally. I think you should still pray alone in your quiet time.
Yes.
But I think it is important to pray as like a community. And like if you have those close friends, like pray with them because it's only gonna like build your relationship even with them. Like with the Lord, obviously, but also like with the people that He's given you. Like it's so important to like invest in those, like pray with them, pray for them. Like you want to see the best for them. So like pray with them, believe with them, have big faith. Like
come on.
Like big faith. Like and pray those dangerous prayers. Like if I could give you any advice, like if you take one thing, like pray those dangerous prayers. Those are the hardest prayers to pray because you're like, this is gonna be like either yes or no. And you don't want to hear like either a lot of times. But like pray the prayers, the Lord knows your heart. And like
it's also just like so relieving. Knowing that I don't have to make the decision. I'm giving it to the Lord.
He's gonna do it.
He will do it, even if I don't like the answer of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like His will is so much better than ours. And like if we are so stubborn to stay in our will, there's just gonna be so much like mud or like just tread that you have to go through.
But also our brains are just so small. Like we cannot fathom like the greatness the Lord has for us.
Oh my goodness.
Like living a life with Him, like it's gonna be just so much better because He knows exactly like what to give you. And like we cannot imagine any of that. And so like
we couldn't even imagine doing a podcast. Like truthfully, like what a podcast, like living in a prayer of what we wanted to be like this woman, we are so sinful, but we just wanted to be at His feet. We are not even worthy to even like untie His sandals. Like that's what Paul says multiple times. We are not worthy of that. But yet He gives us the opportunity to just learn Him, be in relationship with Him, and just grow so deeply together and feel loved. Truthfully, like feel loved by the Creator. So, and that's what He does. He lavishes His love on His creation.
Yeah.
That's who He is. As a father, like that, He loves His children. And He will never forsaken them. And so, like, that's what He does. He lavishes His love on us. And it's like whether we're willing to, like, accept it or reject it. Like, that's the big
But you
thing.
truly have to, like, understand it for yourself. Because
we are hitting. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But it's like such a like taboo thing. Like people always say like Jesus loves you, but like do you actually believe it for you? Do you actually know that He loves you so dearly? Like He sees you, He knows you. Like He knows the inmost parts of yourself. Like even the things you hide from people, like He knows and He sees that. And like I think we need to just like start believing like that. And that's hard. And I think it's easier to do with community. Like when you have people reminding you, but also at the same time when you just open the word and you like let it speak to you, like letting that words like remind you that he loves you, like he sees you, like his steadfast love for you never ends and it never ceases, you know?
Yeah. Reminds me obviously of Psalms 139. Just the whole Psalms is just amazing. But specifically the first verse, it says, "O Lord, you have examined my heart and know everything about me." And then it talks about when you know whenever I sit and when I stand, and just the thoughts whenever I'm far away. You see me when I travel, and it goes on and on about like what happens, and how he loves us. But he has made you. He knows you. He knows everything you've thought about. He knows every sin you've committed, even small or big. He knows the things you do in private. He knows the things you do in public.
Yeah.
Like, he knows everything about you. Everything you haven't told people, everything you have. You know what I mean? He knows you so much better than your parents. You know how parents always just know things?
Yeah.
They just always know things. But the Lord knows you. He has examined your heart. Like, your heart is what shows what your whole body does. Like, you know what I mean? Your heart determines what you do.
Totally.
And so, like, he knows you, but yet chooses to love you still.
Yeah. He chooses.
That's just such a blessing.
Yeah.
Like, to hear that, to know that. But like, obviously I can speak all of this, but if I'm not doing it myself, like if I don't know the Lord truly knows me from inside out and created me, I cannot love myself. Like, truthfully, I cannot love myself. And so I need to know the Father's love for me.
Totally.
So then I can love me.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, so
Holy
good.
Spirit.
But also, like, I think I can, like, confidently say, like, we will not be talking about anything that we're not already practicing. Like, we're at that place, we will call each other out. And this is something that we've worked on to, like, know that the Lord loves us so deeply. Like, his steadfast love never ceases. And his mercies are new every day for us. Like, you sin yesterday, okay, then there's a new day next day.
But don't sit in the sin. Please don't.
Do not.
Because that's whenever you start just growing resentment to the Lord, because that's the opposite of who he is. He is not sinful, but he is so loving and caring and kind.
But
and
if you
gracious for
do,
us.
like, there's no condemnation through Christ. Like, you have healing.
Right.
Like, he will heal you. And he doesn't condemn you. There's no shame either.
Yeah.
Like, committing the sin is not okay, but there's so much redemption because of Christ.
For sure.
You know? And that's it's really hard, but, you know.
Oh.
He's so kind.
We have seen how much he loves us and how much he's just given us just so much grace in this period of time. Where we are definitely just treading through the mud, feel like waiting, for the Lord.
Yeah.
But he just lavishes his love on his children.
Totally.
We have to be reminded of that. Like, even though we might be walking through a crazy valley, like, and we don't see the Lord, we don't feel the Lord, we might be wavering and like, does he love me? Like, questioning about it.
Yeah, but
we know, we are so certain that we can see his love throughout like so many places in this Bible.
Totally.
That he just shows his love for his creation.
There's also just so much of a focus on like the lows, like the valleys and the mountaintops, but like no one really talks much about the process to get up the mountain and get down. Like, we're like, oh, the valleys, they're hard. The mountaintops, so much fun. But what about like so much fun? But what about the process to get up to the mountain?
Yeah.
That is not easy. Even getting down, like sometimes getting down is hard because you can trip and fall. You know?
Come on. Wow.
But it is just like the process, and that's kind of like, I feel like going up the mountain, coming down, those are like waiting rooms that we like walk into.
Yeah.
And those are not hard. I mean, those are not easy. Those are hard.
Yeah.
And I think like if you do a hike, girl, that's not easy. And so it's like, it's just similar process. Like, getting up those mountains, you're gonna like, it's gonna be hard to reach up the mountaintop, but once you get there, like, the process will all make sense. Like, the why behind why you went through every single thing, like, you understand finally like why you had to go through this, But I think oftentimes in the waiting room, like, we always, like, even I've said this, I'm like, oh, the Lord is quiet. You know, like I'm like I don't know what the Lord's speaking.
Yeah, I feel like we're just really keen to our emotions. So whatever we feel like if we feel like, oh, the Lord is far from me, like
Yeah.
I don't feel his love.
But
Well, it's not about feeling his love. It's about knowing his love.
yeah.
Like those waiting periods where you're going up the mountain and you can see the end. You're just like, this is so freaking hard.
Yeah, you just have to
I cannot get there.
Yeah.
Well, his strength will carry you up. Like
Totally.
if you lean on the Lord, like it's all about leaning on who he is and who he's told you he will be for you, than what we can even imagine, like what we could do. Like if I was going up the mountain by myself, oh man,
no,
I wouldn't be back.
Well, I'll walk back down.
Yeah. I'll stay in the pit. You know?
Like I will go back. Like, but if you have people walking with you, like the community of believers to like even when you do a hike, like when you do it with people, like they're there, like you can take breaks with those people and you're like, wait, I need a breather. Or you can be like, okay, encourage the person, like, come on, let's do it. Like we're almost there, like we can see the end. And it's all about just like there's just so much more power like being in community with each other. Where are you going?
This reminded me of Isaiah 40. Yeah. So we've been listening to the song Wait on the Lord by Maverick City. And there's just so much scripture in there and truth in there. Obviously, we are waiting on the Lord. Like his timing is so much better than ours.
Totally.
But it's more what you're doing in the waiting.
Yeah.
We can go talk about Job too whenever we're ready. But if we want to touch about that.
Oh, sure.
But they say this, and it's just like such a powerful moment because it's not the lyrics of the song, but it like just the Holy Spirit was moving in that moment, and they sang that part, and it's just so beautiful. But it is. We can start in verse 28. Why not? Have you ever heard? Have you ever understood? The Lord is the everlasting God. Sorry, the Lord is the everlasting God, the Creator of all earth. He never grows weak or weary. No one can measure the depths of his understanding. Come on, so much power in this. He gives power to the weak and strength to the powerless. Come on. Even youth will become weak and tired, and young men will fall in exhaustion. But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Then I added this. I don't even know when I read this. Probably pretty recently because I added Proverbs into it. Proverbs. Let's see. Proverbs 4:12. And it says, when you walk, you will not be held back. When you run, you won't stumble. And that's just so cool. How he can lead us in those paths of like, you're about to go up this mountain. You need to have strength. You need to stay obedient to what I'm saying. You cannot go back down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to stay obedient to climbing that mountain. You're going to see the end result soon. You're going to see it. But it's like, what are you doing in that? Are you asking the Lord to renew your strength? Are you asking the Lord to like help you just be renewed by him constantly every day?
Yeah.
It's a daily thing.
Yeah, totally.
We are weak. Yeah. Humans are weak. But we are made strong by the Lord. Yeah. And by his strength and by only his strength. Like there's nothing we could do. Like obviously we could drink some energy drinks and like get through the day.
Yes.
And like I'm gonna trust in the Lord.
Totally.
But are you really trusting the Lord? Like, are you just relying on these energy drinks? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, what are you doing in the waiting? What are you doing? You see the end result. Are you staying obedient to it?
Like verse 13 literally says, like, keep hold of instruction. Do not let go. Like, hold on to what the Lord has said.
In Proverbs?
Yeah. Like, after 12, it just says, like, do not let go. But also says, do not enter the path of the wicked and do not walk in the way of the evil.
Yeah. How much wisdom is there?
Like, be so mindful of, like, what the Lord has told you, but also be aware of like the distractions that are gonna come your way, and like there are gonna be things that are gonna try to distract you, but like always
so many things. Oh my goodness, Satan uses that.
Literally, hold on to what the Lord has already said. Hold on to those promises and just
but also make sure. Like, it's not just like, Lord, I'm asking for strength. Please give me strength. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I've read your word
Mm-hmm.
today. I know what you called me to be. I know how much you love me, whatever it might be from the passage that you're getting. And then with faith and with confidence that he's already given you, you can walk into that being like, Lord, I know you will renew my strength. I know you will do this.
Yeah.
Because you are my God and I trust in you and I'm obedient to who you are.
Yeah.
Just walk in confidence to that, because if he's called you there, oh my goodness, wait. If God has called you somewhere, he will equip you for whatever you go through. Mm-hmm. And that's Exodus 4.
Yeah,
and
so good.
I talked about like this in a assignment and it was about Moses not feeling equipped. Like he had a speech impediment, like he had a stutter, whatever it might have been. And he just felt like, Lord, why me? Why would you choose me? What if they don't listen? What if they don't hear me? But he will equip you. If he's called you there, he will equip you. And if he's called you to go up that mountain, he will equip you. Yeah. And so walk into confidence with that.
Totally. Wow. So good. So good. But yeah, like the Lord is not quiet in the waiting. We are just not, our ears are not open. That's it. Open the word. Like if I've heard a lot of people say like, I don't hear his voice. Open the Bible.
Right here.
Like
right here.
Open the Bible. Let me tell you, open that Bible and just let it speak to you.
Open that word. Wherever it leads,
No, like truthfully, like I think like a lot of people expect to hear this like loud voice, like
I wish. Man, that would be so cool. Like obviously he can, and he can do whatever.
And I've had moments where I'm like, wait, that's the Lord telling me something, But it's like, open the word. Like it's right there. His promises are right there. Like,
and if it's not saying what you want it to say, that's okay.
Yeah, keep reading. Keep reading. Like, let me tell you, keep reading the Bible. It's not gonna speak to how you want it to.
Yeah. He's not gonna I feel like the Lord is very he's a cool God, but like he is very how do I say this? Just like kind of sneaky. He likes to like give you a little.
He's funny. He likes to play some.
Yeah, he likes to play some games for sure.
Yes.
But if it's not telling you what you wanted to hear, like maybe you need to be open to like actually reading.
Yeah.
What you're like. Yeah. Actually knowing what you're reading.
Totally. But also like those desires that you want might be your fleshly desires and not from the Lord.
So
like discerning.
Seek the Lord. Come on.
Discerning like if this is like what you want or actually what the Lord's put on your heart.
Yeah.
And like ask the Lord to take it away if it's not from the Lord, and he will.
Powerful prayers.
And if it's for the will of God, then it's going to stay in your heart.
Yeah.
And the Lord's going to eventually reveal, like he will reveal things. Let me tell you that he will reveal things.
Yes, he will. But I would just say like, how much power was it whenever we prayed together?
So much. Like that night was crazy. Like it was nothing, like we weren't using big words, like none of that. Like we were just like humbly coming to the Lord with like our heart's desires.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to use big words.
No, the Lord knows.
He's not like wanting you to be like picture perfect. Like he has not called you to be like that.
Yeah.
He's created you the way you are.
He knows you.
He knows you from inside out. Like literally. What did we just read? Like
yeah.
And so like you don't have to be like, Lord, I just want this excruciating, pain out of my life.
Yeah.
You don't have to use those big words. You can truthfully just be like, Lord, why am I hurting?
Yeah.
Like why am I going through this? I know you're good, and I know you're God. You have this, but like what is the like end goal? Like what am I gonna walk out?
Totally.
Being like a different person.
Yeah.
Like, is that gonna is my life gonna be changed? You can ask him those questions.
No, be honest.
It's okay to ask questions. Like, I feel like we're really scared.
We're like, oh, we're gonna hurt his feelings. No, because he already knows it. He just wants you to like speak it out.
Yeah. Because
that like helps so much. Dude, why did I flip to this psalm? So good. But yeah, like pray, say those prayers, and like he is gonna answer them. Like Psalms 37:34 says, "Wait for the Lord and keep his way, and he will exalt you to inherit the land. You will look on when the wicked are cut off." Like he is going to hold you up if he's already promised that. Like he's gonna deliver you. He's gonna save you. He's gonna be your refuge. You just have to like choose to stay the course faithfully. You just have to choose to lean on him Like his promises are yes and amen. He's already said his promises. Like we don't have to do anything. That's crazy. And so like we literally just have to like go sit at his feet.
I don't know where I was going.
No, that's okay.
But I keep seeing like I come to you with this like you know, I'm praying to you, listen to me.
Yeah.
It like all like in Psalms, like we can just see how raw David and any other author is.
He could literally go from the highs of highs one day, the next day he's like lamenting to the Lord.
And you can be like,
so real.
Hey,
like
for sure. But you can be like I'm listening. Like hear me. Be like so keen to my voice. Like listen. Like you can ask those things. Like the Lord knows you. Truthfully. Like
yes.
Like you can ask those things. And I think prayer might seem so scary at the beginning. Like you don't know what to say. You're like, oh, let's do the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah.
Good. Great. That's an outline.
I would start
there. Let's dive deeper.
Yeah.
Start like
no, totally.
Being more practical in your prayer life.
Yeah.
Like don't make it a big deal. It's talking to a friend. It's obviously it's talking. We're supposed to have reverence and like love the Lord and be in awe of him.
Yeah.
Because he is the creator of the universe. Like he is God. Like he has so much power, but also he is also a friend. He's close to the brokenhearted. He's obsessed with you. And so like he just wants to hear your voice.
Yeah. But also like if you've never prayed before, like we did this freshman year, it was so powerful. Like using the Lord's Prayer as an outline.
Goodness. Yeah.
Like I would do that. Like break it up. Like we broke each one up and like our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Like thank him for all he's done. Should we just break through the prayer?
Yeah, I actually have this book as well.
Recommend.
It's called Pray First by Chris Hodges. But keep going.
Should we break it up?
Yeah, break it up. Let's talk about this because I've been seeing the Lord's Prayer everywhere. So let's talk about it.
So our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. So thank him. Like if you don't know how to start prayer, thank him for what he's done. Thank him for what he's already done in your life. Because even if you think he has done nothing, he has done something. Yeah. He's carried you so far. You woke up today. You have breath in your lungs. That is something to be thankful for because tomorrow is not promised.
For sure.
So thank him for that.
This book shows our Father in heaven is respect and intimacy with him, with who he is. Hallowed be your name. It starts with worship.
Totally.
That's where we have to start off.
Yes.
Like if we're not giving him the worship and the honor and the glory he deserves, we are doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Because that's what he deserves. He deserves everything.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
I would say don't just like start with asking, start with thanking him for what he's done. Thanking him for just that reverence of like who he is and what he's done.
But he also wants to be like so near to you. Like
totally
the intimacy he has with you.
Yeah.
He just wants you to like feel that for him. Like you know what I mean?
It's just like a friendship. Like you cannot grow a friendship without sharing stuff about you. Like you really cannot. And so
like you cannot listen.
Go.
You cannot meet up with a friend every 6 months. Like you're not really gonna learn them. You're not gonna know them.
Yeah.
Truthfully, deeply. That's how we are with prayer. Or that's how we are some people at church. Like
even reading the Bible. Like
exactly.
I've done it too. Like I'm not pointing fingers. Like
me too.
There have been seasons like this was shut, even though I knew I should have.
Yes, there was dust on it. Like that's how like long it's been. But you are not gonna know that person really well.
No.
And it's the same with the Father.
Totally.
Like you have to be constantly in prayer, constantly reading a word, constantly being in community that'll just bring you to a higher standard because that's what we're called to.
Yeah. And then your kingdom come, your will be done. Like just kind of pray like what the word's already spoken, like what he's promised to do and like what he wants like the world to look like, honestly. Like he's already said like his kingdom needs to come here. You know, like heaven invade earth.
Yeah.
So we just need to be mindful that we're like disciples that do that, you know, every day.
For sure. So the book says, your kingdom come. We need to pray the Father's agenda first.
Yeah.
If we're not doing that, then we're doing something wrong
as
well.
Like what has he already spoken? What does he want? What does he want to do?
Yeah. What do we need to do?
Yeah, what do we need to do
stay obedient?
Yeah. Come on. Okay.
Your kingdom come, your will be done, right?
Your will be done. And then
So
on earth as it is in heaven. Yeah. That kind of goes together, I feel like, right?
Yeah. Because if it's not his will,
we don't want
we are exactly
don't
pass it on. No, I'm kidding.
Double
Go pass
it.
it on. Because like we want the Lord's will to like
Yes.
just reign on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever that is. Whether
Yeah.
it's in your job, whether it's in your, you know, at your school, wherever that might look like.
Yeah.
Ask for him
Mm-hmm.
for his will to be done. Ask for a revival if that needs to be started. Like ask for change to be happen if that is his will.
Totally. Ask him what he wants to be done in your life and in like
others'
life,
you.
but also just like your everyday walk. Like how can you make sure his will is done today?
Yeah, how can you grow into that intimacy more?
On earth as it is in heaven. We want that to be like we want earth to look like heaven invaded.
For sure.
Okay, next up, give us this day our daily bread.
Bread.
I mean,
that's it.
That's it. Like ask the Lord, like a daily thing. Like it's so easy. Like even for me, like to be like, oh, what does like 7 years from today look like? You know, like Lord, I want this. But like He will provide you what you need for today, and tomorrow He will give you tomorrow. And so like ask Him like what He wants out. Again, same thing. Like what He wants out of you today, but also like ask Him for what you need today.
Yeah,
He's gonna provide that.
Sometimes you just gotta not look at the bank account. You know. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you just gotta.
Sometimes you just gotta go to Dutch and tap the card.
And pray that it helps.
Literally. Pray that it goes through.
Like, oh, not that one? Okay, I got another one. Sorry. Yeah, no. Sometimes you just gotta have that faith.
You just gotta have big faith, man.
You really do. Yeah, he will provide in ways you might not even imagine. Man. Like if it's not through like your card, like someone else might pay for it. Like yeah, I don't know. Like no, literally. I just thought of this analogy. Like sometimes you just really gotta like.
You just gotta tap the card, man. You just gotta go with faith, big faith in
but
our,
like,
this room.
He will provide everything.
Oh, he's gonna
and that's what it says. It says depend on him for everything. Mm-hmm. That's what we're called to do.
Yeah.
He's given us everything we already have.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't give it to us, maybe we don't need it.
We don't.
I don't know. I
don't know. Maybe we don't need it. Maybe that's just selfish desires.
Maybe that's just reality.
It is. Yeah.
That we don't need it if he hasn't given it to us.
Yeah. But it's a daily thing. Like it really is a daily thing.
If we're not doing that, then we're like, truthfully, like we're not giving ourselves like what we need. Like if we're not asking from that, then we're not going to receive anything.
Totally. I agree.
Ask and receive. You know what I mean?
No, ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door shall be open. Like ask. Like he's not scared for you to like ask him. And don't be scared to ask him. Like he can do it. Let me tell you, he can do it.
It's just like if you have faith or not. If you're gonna trust him or not.
If you're gonna trust him,
you're gonna be obedient or not.
Yeah, because asking does not mean you receive it the next day. Like if it's in the will of God, you'll receive it. But you're gonna have to sit in that waiting room.
Yeah.
And that's where it's called to be
faithful.
Whether
that's 2 years or a month. I don't know.
He's just gonna have to ask you. Stay faithful, like stay the course faithfully, trust in him, and like hold on to faith. Like even when you can't see the end, like he's already told you what the end looks like. So just hold on to that.
He's gonna renew your strength.
He is gonna renew your strength.
Wait on the Lord.
Wait on the Lord. It's a daily thing. Tomorrow can look so different.
Tomorrow like you could have $1,000 in your bank account and it would zero the other. Like,
no, literally, your whole life can change. Like if you just look at, like we've been talking about this, like the death, burial, and resurrection. So much change in 3 days. Like, imagine what he can do in your life tomorrow. Yes. Like, just believe.
It's just having the faith.
Like, wake up and, like,
today is a day. He's gonna move.
Like, have the joy of the Lord every day. Even when your life seems like falling apart, joy isn't dependent on a feeling. Joy comes from the Lord. And he's our source of joy every day. Okay, like, let's go on.
Let's go.
And forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. Ooh. Wow.
That's just powerful in itself.
Like, that is hard. Like, forgiveness is hard. Oh, forgiveness is hard. Like, forgiving others so you don't hold on to some, like, things against people. Like, that is hard. But the Lord, like, died on the cross for you. Like, he's already forgiven us. So, like, why do we choose to, like, hold on to things in, like, our friends and family? Because they're sinners. Like, these people are gonna wrong us. They're gonna hurt us.
Go on. Yeah.
So like ask the Lord to give you the strength to forgive us. I understand forgiveness is hard when people have like hurt you or done you wrong. It is not easy. But like through the Lord, when you realize like he gave up his life for you, why not forgive someone else that like did something horrible to you? Because the Lord has already forgiven them too. Like
yeah, I was trying to find the verse. Okay, come on. Okay.
Rapping.
But yeah.
Mirror.
So what I was thinking was
Forgive ours.
Okay, yeah. So like I think Jesus is talking, and he is like, he's saying, if you're in my temple and praising me and you feel like you have to forgive someone, you leave it right now. Like leave my temple, forgive them, and come back.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is, but I know that he speaks that, and he shows that to us. Like if whatever you are at and like you feel the need to forgive someone, forgive someone. Like leave what you were doing. Completely leave it. I mean, obviously if it's important, like if it's a deadline, okay, the Lord knows. But like leave it and go forgive.
I was thinking about this literally right before.
I was thinking Matthew 7, and that was
Matthew 18, 21. I think it's that, but let me just see. Yep. Right? How many, like the Lord, what's his name? Peter asked the Lord.
Oh, who's the greatest?
Peter came up to the Lord and he said, how often will my brother sin against me and I forgive him? And he says, as many as 7 times. But then Jesus said, I do not say to you 7 times, but 70 times 7 times. Whoa, 7 times 70?
7 times 70.
That is like, guys, if you do math.
I don't know. Don't look at me, okay?
But that's no, like it is crazy. Like we are asked to forgive these people like 70 times 7. Like what?
Okay, crazy.
Come on, give it to me.
Reading Proverbs. Proverbs 6.
You're reading Proverbs right now?
Well, I'm reading that in Joshua.
Okay, we have to talk about that after then.
Okay. Proverbs 6:31. It says, well, it's talking about like adultery and all that stuff. But it says, if he is caught, he must pay back 7 times what he stole, even if he has to sell everything in his house. Isn't that crazy? Like he talks about 7 times, multiple
7 times 70.
Obviously, like just how much more do we have to pay for forgiveness, pay our debt back? But we don't gotta pay our debt back for like Jesus has already paid our debt.
I know, but forgiveness. But like, forgiveness. We are called to like unending forgiveness to the people around us. Exactly. But like you cannot like move on if you haven't forgiven someone because you're gonna hold a grudge against them.
You cannot stay in there. You cannot.
No. And that's only gonna make you worse. Like holding a grudge, that's gonna harden your heart. It's gonna harden like you. And so come on, forgive 7 times 70. Keep forgiving even if you don't want to forgive. And that's all I got right now. It's a daily thing. It is a daily thing. Give us today our daily bread. Thing. And forgive people daily.
I'm really trying to find the verse I was trying to find.
I know. Sorry.
It's okay. Oh, we'll put it. Okay. Maybe not. No. Maybe not. Actually not.
Maybe. Well, we'll find it. Maybe next week. We don't know where next week is gonna go.
So forgive our debts. Get your heart right.
Get it right.
That's what it's talking about. We are obviously supposed to ask for. We are supposed to confess our sins, obviously, and for Him to purify our hearts and attitudes. But it shifts on to like how we reflect on this forgiveness for other people. So we need to get our hearts right first with God and then with other people. Because resentment grows real fast. If you are holding on to that, don't let it go. Like give it to God.
Totally.
He already knows you. He already knows that you already sinned. So why aren't you already asking for forgiveness?
Yeah.
That's just stupidity on our part. Like truthfully, like we're human. Like we do not understand, but the Lord does, and He knows what we already did. So why aren't we already asking for forgiveness? Like it's kind of like our mom knowing we broke something. Like if we broke a lamp whenever we were kids, and she's like, "Oh, who did it?" No, I didn't. Okay. Actually, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Well, okay. I guess.
And so like if we broke a lamp and our mom knows we broke a lamp, why aren't we already like just confessing it?
Yeah, totally.
So like it's the same with
God, but we're gonna do people wrong. Others are gonna do us wrong because we're just sinful in nature, and so just come on, just forgive people. Yeah. It's hard, but let's do it. Okay. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil goes back to confession. Mm-hmm. Come on. Temptation. It's all around us. Like we live in a sinful world. We are going to be tempted. Confess when you're tempted. Take something out of it. Confess when you're tempted.
Find someone though.
No, literally. To. But like honestly, sorry. Like I'm going to reiterate it. Like we are here. Reach out.
Oh yeah.
Totally reach out. Like our Instagram at Dear Radio 1 is open. Period. And like we want to partner with you in prayer. We want to like walk you through like
that's what we're here for.
Like, not that we're perfect, but we have grown so much and we are still growing. So like if we can just like partner with you in prayer, if that's all we can do, like we would love to do that. Sorry, where were you going with this?
The book says spiritual warfare. I really haven't read into this. I was going to read it today, which is weird that this comes up. Today. But God does not lead us into temptation. He may allow us to face a trial or temptation, but he does not actively tempt us.
He does not tempt us.
Satan
tempts us.
Like the world is filled with temptation. The world is filled with Satan. Truthfully, like if we are not aware of that, then we are coming to it blindsided.
Yeah.
Satan is everywhere. And if you have not realized that on social media, if you have not realized that anywhere you're at, it is everywhere. And so actually being like knowing that temptation is not from the Lord, that can already like
it's not from the Lord. He does not tempt us. Like he does not tempt us and he will not tempt us.
This book, sorry, read it please. It's such a good book. Prayer is our foundational way to like grow with the Lord and grow deeper with him. And so if we are not praying first and we're doing everything else, if we are truthfully like it was hard and convicting for me. Like I was like, oh, I kept like telling my mom this before I prayed about it. Or I was telling my friend this and I didn't pray about it. You know what I mean? And so it's really convicting, but it is so powerful if you just pray first. Like if you are not doing anything else, pray. Like pray about it. Give it to the Lord. Like like we've been saying, he already knows everything. And so if you're not praying first, you are doing something wrong. And so I just would recommend this on Amazon. That's where I bought mine. Shout out. Ooh.
She's a fan.
Okay.
But no, like, yeah. Wow. Okay.
Whoa. Okay.
Pray about it. Take it to the Lord. Sit at his feet constantly.
Prayer
has changed our lives. Like mic drop. We are not who we walked into this semester or this low-key even this semester.
Low-key.
And high-key. Like that is all like I'm so proud of us. Like we have grown so much, especially in this semester.
But especially in these like last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, girl.
Last month.
If we're being honest.
This last month has been so pivotal. Just like
but also so much spiritual warfare.
Oh my god, yes. Spiritual warfare has been she's cooking.
But she ain't working.
She ain't winning. But yeah, like
come on.
But no, like you're so right. Like we've had so much growth in just like this past month and like I'm proud of us. Oh, where we go? Okay, let's go.
Let's go into it.
Okay. Let's go.
I'm so sorry. Okay, I'll let you start in this because this is where we kind of both saw what we need to do in the waiting. And if we're not doing this, we're not giving it to the Lord. Truthfully.
Totally. Are we talking about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Job 1:20 through 22, and it starts off with saying, Then Job arose and tore his robe, and he shaved his head and fell on the ground and worshipped. And he said, Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
Blessed be the name of the Lord. Hey! Okay.
And it says, in all of this, Job did not sin or charge God with wrong.
How powerful.
How powerful.
Because he had everything.
He had everything and more.
Everything and more. And yet he was still...
When everything was stripped away.
Yeah.
Still,
Isn't that a song? When everything...
Probably. His first act was to fall on the ground and worship.
Yeah.
Like...
If that does not remind you of, like, the woman.
Literally, it all goes back to us asking the Lord, like, if I don't get anything more in this life, I just want to be at your feet.
Yeah. If my desires aren't met.
Yeah.
If you've given me the desires of my heart and, like, they're still not met, you are worthy of everything
and more. But yeah, it also just goes of, like, never losing the awe and wonder of who he is, what he has done, and what he can do, honestly. But, like, never losing the wonder of just who he is. Not even, like, what he can do or what he will do, but, like, who he is as just God. Like, the characteristics of God.
Yeah, I was reading Job for a little bit.
Yeah, Job is so good.
And in chapter 2, verses 11 through 13, it says, when 3 of Job's friends heard this tragedy he has suffered, they got together and traveled from their homes to comfort and console him. Their names were...
Killed it.
Yeah, there's 3 names, guys, but y'all got it if y'all read it. When they saw Job from a distance, they scarcely recognized him. Wailing outside, they tore their robes and threw dust in the air over their heads to show their grief. Then they sat on the ground with him for 7 days. Oh, 7 is just so cool. 7 days and 7 nights, and no one said a word to Job, for they saw that his suffering was too great for words. And I wrote this on a sticky note, not thinking about it, but just how cool, because we're talking about this in prayer and friendships. It's just crazy. We did not plan any of this. This is not
where we were gonna go, but
glad we're here. Glad we're here. And I said, have friends that will be there for you in the hard times, but still lead you to Christ.
Totally.
Even if it's not through words, it's just their actions. You know how deeply loved you are by those friends around you, being there in times that you do not want anyone else there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta push a little to get them to talk. But push.
Yeah, push.
Keep pushing. Even if it's 3 days, keep pushing. Push it. But keep pushing. I'm pushing, you know?
3 days.
I'm just saying, like, even if I don't know, guys. But yeah.
I don't know, guys. Yeah, so have those friends that will actually be so intentional to lead you to Christ.
Pray for those friends.
Worst moment.
Yeah, ask the Lord for those friendships. He will provide.
He will.
He will.
He will. Like it said in verse 20? The Lord give me what I have, and the Lord has taken it away.
Yeah, the Lord gives and the Lord takes away.
That's
but all. In all of that, even if he gives you or if he takes it away, we will still bless him for who he is.
Blessed be the name of the Lord. Yeah. Yeah. Not a singer, guys. Never claimed to be a singer.
Are you sure?
Promise.
But yeah.
So yeah, just how powerful is that? Like, your first reaction to possibly the trials that might happen. And didn't it talk about, like, wait, I think, yeah, Satan came to him and it was like, I want to tempt him.
Yeah.
And the Lord was like, okay, do it. I know he'll stay faithful to me. Like, he had so much confidence. And he did, obviously, but
the Lord literally says, like, have you considered my servant Job? There's none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man who fears God and turns away from evil.
Yeah. Though temptation is not from God, he will allow it sometimes.
For your growth to happen. Yeah.
And that is so pivotal moments, like, where you have to truly if you love the Lord and like want to be in a relationship with him, you have to dig deeper into that.
Yes.
You cannot just stay oblivious to what he has done in your life.
Yeah.
And just be like, okay, cool. Like, you've given me this revelation.
Totally.
I'm going to actually step back.
I'm not going to do anything about
and
it.
like, yeah, I'm going to step back and not listen to you.
Yeah.
Or just get more revelations.
Totally.
The Lord is just he's so cool, and he actually like just shows his children what he desires for them.
Yeah. But I think that's what we do, like, often in the waiting room. Like, we're like, okay, the Lord told me this. Okay, he'll do it. Like, I don't need to do anything. Yeah. No. Like, you can't just sit at a doctor's office waiting room and get healed. You have to walk into the doctor's room, get the medications you need. You have to do the work.
Yeah.
To get to the final healing.
Yeah.
So.
And the Lord will heal you.
He will. So do not just sit in the waiting room.
But be patient.
Be patient. Be
willing to worship.
Yeah, be at his feet constantly. Sit in prayer, sit in worship. Yeah. Don't waste the waiting. And I will say this as someone that hated the waiting. I hated when people talked about waiting seasons, and here we are.
Yeah.
But for the first time, I feel like I can truly be like, I'm waiting well. We're both waiting well. Proud of us.
Yeah.
We're like first going to the Lord.
Yeah.
And
looking at this quote, I don't remember ever writing this, but I did write it. And this is like not recently, but it says, you will never be who God has called you to be if you don't surrender who you want to be. I don't know why I wanted to say that, but I think we need to talk about that.
Yeah. Surrendering it all to him.
Like during the waiting.
Yeah.
Like if he's giving you something so profound and you're like, well, how is this going to happen?
Yeah.
But you don't surrender it.
Yeah. Keep going.
You are not.
Yeah.
You're not doing all that you can do to please the Lord and give it to him.
Yeah.
And that's all that comes with prayer. So.
But yeah, no, that's like, you can't, like, even in the waiting, like, you have to surrender your desires. Everything. All the
prayers.
Yeah, you have to surrender all. And again, going back to just sit at his feet. If all you ever achieve in this life is be known as that you were someone that sat at his feet, that is the greatest achievement. Like, no money, no fame, no rich, nothing will compare to just like sitting at his feet and just like worshiping, thanking him. Like, I don't know.
But never miss the moment.
No, don't miss it.
Yeah.
Wow. Never miss the moment.
Martha did. Mary didn't.
I know. Come on. You tell them.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know. So just like sit at his feet.
Be willing to like let everything pass by.
Yeah.
And sit at his feet. Even if it might not be picture perfect what you planned.
No.
Sitting at his feet is so much better than
but his ways are so much better and bigger.
Be Mary, not Martha. Come on.
She's preaching.
So. Yeah. So. Wow. We got here.
We have gone through so much.
We have.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good spot.
It is. Well.
Yeah, to just
pray first, guys.
Yeah, if I could give you anything tonight, I mean, whenever you're listening to this, like, go run to his feet, sit at his feet, go there first.
And if you feel like you've been away from him too long, there's never.
Like, you're not too far at all. You're not far.
He's searching for you, actually.
He's actually so close to you. You just don't realize that he's like right next to you.
Yep.
He's right here.
Back at his feet. He'll welcome you with a party.
Yes, he will. But yeah,
arms wide open.
Pray for those friends. Reach out to those community that you already have, and if you don't have it, pray for it. He's gonna open the doors.
He will.
He will. Won't he do it?
He will.
He will do it.
Trust in the Lord.
Trust.
With all your heart.
Lean not on your own understanding. And
wow. But in everything, wait. Shut it.
In everything.
Wait.
Yep.
Wait.
Waiting.
Sorry. We have to go there.
Yep.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure in another version it's trust in the Lord with all your heart.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, and in all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Yeah. We're praying that over you, actually. Blessings.
Yes.
Oh, so good. So good. So good.
So thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Wow, has today been impactful.
Today's been so good.
It's been so good. Like, starting this, I was like,
Yeah, we were
going a different route.
We were prepared.
We were.
But, like, I just love when the Lord moves.
He was moving.
He is moving. Like, these rooms, I'm going to miss this place.
Yeah. But so, thank you guys.
Thank you for joining us. If we rambled, we are sorry.
Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you got something.
But
if you didn't get anything.
If you got anything, take it to the Lord first.
Yes.
Don't just take our words, please. Take it to the Lord.
And get in the Word.
Get in the Word.
See what the Word says.
Open. You'll hear His voice.
Yes, you will.
But yeah.
So, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you guys pretty soon.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
See you guys in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Maybe.
In 2 weeks, right?
I don't know. See you soon.
See you soon.
See you soon.
We love you guys. We're praying for you guys. Reach out to us. Our DMs are open if you ever need anything.
Please.
But yeah, we're playing blessings over your lives, and can't wait to see you guys again.
Bye, guys.
Let's go.